This session is all about shoulders, and you're going to need a couple of props. So you need your trusty strap, something like a block that you can balance on your hand, but if you drop it on the floor, it's not going to get damaged and it's not going to hurt you if you drop it on yourself. So grab those. So we're just going to start by shaking out our hands. So just give the hands a real good shake out, get a little bit of circulation going, getting rid of any tightness, any tension. We're just going to start to shake. And we're going to start to shake the arms, letting that movement travel up towards your shoulders. And then we're just going to start to move our arms all around. So you can stop shaking now, just move your arms around, taking them overhead, reaching tall, taking them up in front, taking them behind, out to the sides, crossing your body, just moving those arms all around. I'm going to do just whatever shapes you can think of, just move them, reaching tall, maybe doing a big circle, maybe go the other way. Let's have floppy arms, let's just do some little twists, letting our arms just kind of swing freely side to side. So, just getting rid of any tension, sometimes just shaking them out, moving them around is all you need to do. However, we're going to do a lot more than that. So we're going to start with our little dumb waiter. So bring your elbows in by your sides and have your palms facing up towards the sky. And then all we're going to do is keep the elbows tucked in by our sides, but open your arms out and then bring them back in. And we're going to just do that a few times, just nice and slow, nice and controlled. And notice what you can feel here. Can you feel your shoulder blades moving in your back? So as your hands come closer together, your shoulder blades are probably sliding wider apart in your back. And as you open those arms out, your shoulder blades are sliding in towards your spine. So see if you can find that movement. So wide and together as you open out and draw them in. Now this time as your hands come closer together and those shoulder blades are wider apart, let's think about drawing our armpits down towards our waist so that we're trying to stabilise and hold those shoulder blades still. And now try and open out without moving your shoulder blades. That's really tricky. And if you're not sure whether they're moving or not, don't worry about it. Just keep going. So shoulder blades are anchored and still. Can we still open out those hands? Let's do that one more time. Shoulder blades anchored and still. Can you open out? And then can you keep those shoulder blades anchored and still and start to reach those hands out to the sides? Elbows are going to leave the sides of the body as you reach the arms away. Now if you've lost all feeling and you have no idea what your shoulders are up to, don't worry. Just start to bring those elbows back in and bring your hands back in. Do that one more time. So shoulder blades anchored and still as best we can as we open out. And then let the elbows start to move away as you reach your arms out to the sides. And then draw them all the way back in. And bring your hands all the way back in. Let's do floppy ragdoll arms again. Just have a little moment there. Loosen off. Okay, so we're going to do our pizza delivery. And this is where you need your block or your book or something to balance on your hand. Balancing it on the flat of your hand. Try not to hold on to it if you can. See if we can just balance it there. Okay, and then we're going to bring that book, that block across your body and then out to the side. So let's just get a little bit of movement here. Coming across, taking it out to the side. Flat hand. How far back can you take it? Just have a little play with that. How back can you take it up? And lower it down. Taking it up and down. Alright, so let's see if we can kind of go all the way around. So let's follow our thumb. So we've got our hand out to the side. We're going to follow the thumb. So start travelling towards your thumb. We're going to take that block out to the side. We're going to start to lift that block up. And we're going to take it over our head. And we're going to bring it around the front. We're going to have to twist our arm, twist our shoulder to bring that block under your arm back to start position. Just think following the thumb, where's the thumb going to go? So thumb goes out, block goes out, it's going to go behind. I'm going to have to twist to bring it up and overhead. back to your start. Should we try one more time that way, following that thumb? I'm going to go up and over and around and back to your start. How about if we try it the other way? So following your little finger this time, so it's going to reverse, it's going to come through and under your arm first. And then it's going to go out to the side, it's going to come forwards, up and overhead, and back to your start position. You'll have one way that feels easier than the other. Try it again. Little finger. Ooh. And again. So I love these kind of movements because it kind of feels like a challenge, it feels a little bit like a game, but actually you're working super hard. Once you get back to your start, let's do the other side. So we're just going to start with taking the arm out and in to begin with. Just having a little move around there, seeing how far back we can take that arm. How about taking it up high, low, and just moving it around. Alright, should we try this? So let's do thumb first like we did on the other side. So I'm going to take it out, taking it behind. It's going to come up and overhead. It's going to come forwards. Ooh, under your arm. Ooh, and back to your start. Let's do 3 times in each direction. So following your thumb. Noticing if it's different on this side, maybe it's easier on this side. Maybe you feel like you don't have to kind of contort your body as much to get into, into position. And I was just going to say, if you drop your block, and then I beautifully demonstrated it for you, it doesn't matter. When you get back to your start position, and you've done about 3, let's just do the other way. You're going to follow your little finger. So, you might notice one side is much easier. On one side you have to really work. Maybe one side you have to really shift your body to create space to get it into the right place. When you've done your 3, you follow the thumb, follow the little finger, you can place your pizza down. And let's give our arms a shake again. Shake your hands, shake your arms. Keep shaking them. Let's take them overhead and shake them. And then bring them down, keep shaking. Okay, grab your strap next. So let's have our strap. And we're going to hold it out in front, and we're going to have palms facing down. I want you to grip it. And what we're going to do here is we're going to think about drawing our elbows in towards each other. So let's have a little soft elbow. Imagine that you've got magnets drawing your elbows in towards each other, and we're going to pull the strap apart. So it's like you're trying to rip your strap, but the elbows are slightly bent and elbows are drawing in towards each other. Can you find that pull? And then release. Let's do that a couple of times. Elbows are drawing in, pulling that strap, and then releasing. Do one more like that. Elbows drawing in, pull the strap, and release. Let's flip our hands over so our palms face up this time. And again, we're going to grip the strap. Little soft elbow. Elbows drawing in towards each other, and we're going to pull and try and rip that strap, and then release. Notice if your shoulders are trying to sneak up, can you relax your shoulders? Draw the elbows in, pull the strap, and release. One more like that. And release. Take that strap behind this time. So let's have our hands nice and wide, and our palms are going to face forwards. Okay, and again we're going to think about drawing our elbows close towards each other so they're not flaring out to the side. So elbows draw in and pull the strap like you're trying to rip that strap, and release. 3 times. Pull the strap apart and release. And one more time we're going to pull, and we're going to hold the pull. We're going to drop our chin towards our chest here now. Can you keep pulling on that strap? Can you draw your shoulder blades in towards each other as you pull on that strap, and your head is hanging down towards the floor? Keep that pull, keep that tension, and let's just take a couple of deep breaths here. And then we're going to bring the head back up, and we're going to release tension on the strap. And we're just going to have a little wriggle. Keep your strap behind because we've not finished with that yet, but just have a little wriggle. Okay, maybe taking your hands a little bit wider. We're still going to keep those palms facing forwards. Okay, and we're going to find that pull, find that tension on the strap. And we're going to draw our shoulder blades in towards each other. And we're going to see if we can lift the strap behind us, keeping the shoulder blades drawn in, and then lower the strap down. So we've got some tension on all the time, pulling the strap, shoulder blades squeezing in. Can you lift? And lower. One more like that. Lift. And lower. Okay, now this time we're going to hold it in that lift position and fold forwards. So when you're ready, shoulder blades squeeze in. We're going to lift the arms and then we're going to hinge forward. So stick your bottom out, find that forward fold position, and can you lift your arms any higher here? Now if you want to, you can round all the way down towards the floor, or you can stay in that flat back position. But we're reaching our arms up towards the sky. Keep pulling on the strap and keep bringing those shoulder blades to squeeze together. Hold here, 2 breaths. And we're going to slowly come up nice and slow, releasing those arms, releasing that strap, a little wriggle, shoulder rolls, floppy arms, whatever you want to do, just have a little moment of release there. And then we're going to bring the strap in front of us again, and we're going to stay wide. So I've got my palms facing behind me and I've gone wide with those shoulders. Keeping your ribs down, can you take those arms up towards the sky? How high can you go without keeping your alignment, without losing that nice stacked rib position? We don't want the ribs to lift as the arms lift. Going up and lowering down. Right, so we've got those arms nice and wide. Let's see if we can take those arms up and overhead. And can you take them behind you this time? Again, keeping those ribs down. Arms come forwards and all the way down. Let's take them again up and overhead. And forwards and down. So just kind of flossing our shoulders here. Up and over. So if you take your hands super wide, you might find that as you go up and over, you can take those arms behind you and all the way down. Just go to where it feels okay. So if going all the way up and over is too much for you, then just go to where it feels okay. We're not forcing anything, we're just moving. Up and over. Good job. One more like that. Nice. Okay. We're going to go back to taking the strap behind us, palms facing forwards again. But instead of being super wide this time, we're going to go much more narrow. So the more narrow we have our hands, the more work our shoulders have got to do. So have them just wider than your hips here. Okay, we're going to pull the strap. We're going to squeeze the shoulder blades in together and lift those arms. Okay, can we add that forward fold again here? So folding at your hip to hinge forwards. Can you lift your arms? And again, you can stay in that flat back position, or you can round down. You can bend your knees if you want to here too, and just let your head hang. And we're reaching those arms up towards the sky, and we're going to hold. We're still squeezing the shoulder blades. We're still pulling on that strap. Make sure you're breathing, don't hold your breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to slowly come back up, lowering the arms, releasing the shoulders, and give everything a little wriggle. So we're going to take it over into a side bend. So come back to the front again. Kind of go as wide as is comfortable for you. And you can play around. Let's take the arms up to the sky. Tension on your strap. And we're going to take it over into a side bend. And we're going to come up, grow tall, and take it over into a side bend to the other side. Come up, grow tall. Keep that tension, keep that pull on your strap as you go over and over. Good. Let's do one more of those on each side. Last one. And then lowering those hands all the way down. You can pop your strap down. Give yourself a hug. You deserve it. One arm on top of the other. Wrapping those fingertips around. See if you can find that inside edge of your shoulder blade. And then see if you can drop your shoulders down away from your ears. Can you keep your ribs down, but lift your elbows? So we don't want to be arching our back and lifting the ribs. The ribs stay down and we just lift the elbows. Just hold for a couple of breaths there. And we're going to switch the hands over so the other arm's on top. So we're going to open the arms out wide and then just re-hug, other arm on top. Again, see if you can find that inside edge of your shoulder blades. That's giving your back and your shoulders a good stretch already. Shoulders down away from your ears. And can you again lift your elbows without lifting your ribs? And hold for a couple of breaths. Good job. Alright, open out. And release those arms down. Let's give our shoulders a little roll around. Let's go the other way. Good job. Okay, we're going to come down onto the floor. We're going to come down onto all fours. Fingers spread wide. Thumbs point towards each other and elbow pits are forwards. Can you squeeze your shoulder blades together in your back and then press them wide? So shoulder blades squeeze and press. And again, if you don't want to be on your knees, you can also do this seated where you're squeezing and then reaching the arms in a seated position rather than being on all fours. Squeeze and press those shoulder blades. We're going to do two more like this. One more time. And then we're going to come all the way down into our front. So come all the way down onto your front. Let's have one hand on the floor so that you can rest your forehead on one hand and we've got one hand free. And the hand that we've got free, we're going to reach it out in front of us. So fingertips are down on the floor, so little floor angel, palms facing down, fingertips on the floor and they're sliding out to the side. You can take them down towards your hip and then all the way back out, up to the front again. I'm just going to do that a few times. Fingertips on the floor and forward. I'm just keeping my head up just so that you can hear me. So we've kind of got that now. We're just going to float our hand just off the floor. Palms still going to face down. As you float your hand out to the side and down towards your hip and then all the way forwards again. Again, floating just off the floor, hand comes down towards your hip and then all the way forwards. Let's do that a couple more times. And this time, as your hand comes down towards your hip, we're going to bend the elbow and take the hand behind our back and allow the palm to face up towards the sky. And then we're going to bring that hand back across your back out to the side, turn so the palm faces down again and reach the arm all the way forwards. So out to the side, palm faces down. As it gets towards your hip, you're going to bend the elbow and turn the palm to face up to take that hand behind your back. And then back out to the side again. And again, allowing that arm to twist so that your palm faces down. Let's just do that a couple more times. I'm just going to switch arms and do the same on the other side. So allow that arm to come in so you can rest your forehead down. And we're going to take the other arm out in front, fingertips down onto the floor. And again, you're going to slide those fingertips along the floor and out to the side and down towards your hip. And then slide the fingertips along the floor and back up towards your head. So keeping them down on the floor the whole time. And just notice as you do this if it feels any different to the other side. Notice any restrictions, any tightness. Notice if your ribs are wanting to push into the floor, if your back is wanting to do some strange movement, any arching, anything that just doesn't feel normal. Just being aware of any compensations your body's making. And then let's float that hand off the floor. So fingertips are still kind of pointed down, or palm is still facing down, and we're hovering that arm out to the side, down towards your hip,
and then back to the front again. Let's start taking that arm behind our back, so allowing that arm, again, elbow to bend, arm to come behind your back, palm faces up to the sky as it comes behind your back, and then straighten that arm out, taking it back out to the side, and reaching towards the front again. Keep going. Bringing that arm across your back, and then back out to the side. It's a really nice way to mobilise your shoulders. Let's do one more time like this. And as your arm comes forward this time, just bring that hand in and just rest your forehead down on your hands for a moment. Just gently rock your hips side to side, just to release any tension through your lower back, because lying on your front sometimes can create some tension in your lower back. Okay. So we're going to reach those arms out in front again, both hands this time, fingertips down on the floor. And then can you walk your fingertips in towards you, lifting your upper body away from the floor so that you can then come down onto your elbows and find that little Sphinx position here. So I've got elbows down on the floor and palms are facing down. Okay, so let's think about our shoulder blades here. So notice if your shoulder blades are squeezing in towards each other. Can you press and make those shoulder blades go nice and wide across your back? Can you think about drawing your ribs into your body, because it's very tempting here to just sag and let your ribs drop towards the floor. So get that connection with your rib cage. And then trying to keep your shoulders really nice and stable. Can you slide one hand forwards and then slide it back in? Do the other side. Can you slide one hand forwards and then slide it back in? Again, other side, sliding one arm, drawing it back in, sliding the other arm, and drawing it back in. And if it's really difficult and you feel like you're losing your shoulders or you're losing your rib cage, just make it super small. It doesn't have to be big. Alright, we're going to pick one side and we're just going to do some work on one arm at a time. So we're still in that kind of nice stable shoulder position. Ribs are drawn into our body, and we're going to reach one arm forwards and get your fingertips down on the floor. Can you try and keep that nice stable position as we again take those fingertips out to the side? Now if it's too much, then you can come back to where we were before and come down onto the floor. We're just going to repeat the same. But if you're happy in that Sphinx position, then we're just going to do the same here. So checking that you're not allowing your ribs to drop towards the floor, you're not allowing your shoulders to collapse in. Let's float the hand off the floor, palm still facing down as we take that arm out to the side. How about if we add that bend of the elbow to take that hand behind our back, allowing your palm to face up and then coming forwards again. Let's just do a couple of those. It's really tough when you've just got that one arm down. And as you reach your arm all the way forwards this time, bring that elbow in. We're going to do the same on the other side. Do your little reset, make sure your shoulders are nice and stable, ribs are drawn in, reaching one arm out in front, fingertips down on the floor. Can you again take that arm out to the side, trying not to lose your shoulders, and coming forwards. So we're just doing a couple on each side, because these are tough. Yeah. How about if you float the fingers off the floor, palm faces down. Let's add taking that arm behind our back this time. Palm faces up as you take that hand behind your back one more time. And as you bring that arm in this time, slide it all the way in and then lower your body all the way down. Oh. Again, just take that little rock side to side, just rocking your hips from side to side, releasing your lower back. Okay, we're going to come up onto our elbows again. So when you're ready, Let's find that little Sphinx position again. So elbows are under shoulders. And we're going to turn the hand over, just on one side. So turn your hand, in fact no, let's do both sides. Turn both hands over so palms are facing up. Find that stable shoulder position and drawing your ribs into your body. One hand, can you slide one hand away from you and then draw it back in? Can you keep your shoulders stable? Try the other side. Can you slide that hand away from you and then draw it back in? Keeping the elbow and the back of the hand on the floor as you reach away and draw back in. Now, I've got to really work on my ribs here because my ribs really want to go. Just try one more on each side. Alright, so from here we've got our elbows on the floor, we've got the backs of our hands on the floor, palms are facing up. Let's see if we can come into a plank here. So shoulders are going to stay nice and wide, ribs are going to stay drawn in. Can you tuck your toes under on one foot? Can you tuck your toes under on the other foot? Press into your elbows, press into your hands and your toes. You lift your body just off the floor. We're only going to hold for a moment here. And then we're going to lower back down, all the way down. Reach your arms forwards and just kind of have a little wriggle side to side, like you're going to try and roll over. Alright. So we're going to do that again. And if just coming up into that plank was like enough work, then I want you to just practice just that lifting up and lowering down a couple of times. If it felt okay, we're going to hold the plank and try and tilt our pelvis from side to side. We still want palms to face up, so let's find our elbows again under our shoulders, palms are facing up. We're going to tuck our toes under and we're going to press into our elbows, our hands and our toes to find that plank position. Can you find that little plank position? And then can you just twist your hips side to side? Twist. And if you're not happy with this, then you can just kind of lift into that plank and lower. Little twist, and then we're going to lower all the way back down again. Really good work. Okay, we're going to roll onto one side now. So roll onto one side, and we're going to be on our elbow. So we've got our elbow down, we're going to have palm down, and let's bend those knees in. So notice here whether you're kind of slouching and collapsing into the floor. So we want to think about using the muscles of our abdominals and our core to lift us away from the floor. We're using our shoulder, we're nice and stable through our shoulders, so we've not got that shoulder up towards our ear, so we're pressing into that elbow, pressing into that palm of that hand here. And then we're going to take our top arm and we're going to reach it up towards the sky. We're going to thread the needle, we're going to take the arm and we're going to thread it underneath us, twisting and reaching through as much as we can. And then we're just going to come back and we're going to open out again, stretching up towards the sky. Thread again, twist. And open out. Watch for that collapsing, try and keep that nice control the whole time. Let's twist one more time. And then open out and reach up towards the sky. We're going to take that arm over our head like we're going to do a little side bend. And in fact, you can lift and find that side bend position and then come back and let's take that hand all the way down towards our hip. Go again, take that arm up and over into that side bend. And come all the way down. One more time. Good. And then we're just going to switch and go over to our other side. So just over onto your other side. Elbow down, palm down, knees bent. Again, think about using your abdominals, using your core to lift, nice and stable through that shoulder so that we've not collapsed down. And then take your arm up towards the sky. And again, we're going to thread the needle, we're going to twist, taking that arm through, reaching through. And then come back and open out. Again, reaching through, a little twist. And open out. One more. And open. Taking that arm overhead. And again, let's find that little side bend, so we're lifting. And coming up and let that hand come all the way down towards your hip. Remember not to collapse and slouch.
Very controlled, pressing into that elbow, pressing into that palm. Hand comes all the way down. One more time. And all the way down. Okay, we're going to go back onto our front again. And I want you to grab your strap and take your strap with you. So, back onto your front. I want to be this way. The other way, don't you? You like to lie. Okay, I'm going to take that strap out in front. Legs long, pubic bone anchored, tailbone slightly tucked to give us some length in our lower back. And then we've got that strap in our arms and we're reaching our arms out in front. Just resting your forehead down on the floor. Can you find that nice, stable, anchored shoulder position? So think about drawing your armpits down towards your waist to give some space to your neck. And then try to keep that nice, stable shoulder position. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do here is lift just our head away from the floor. So keep your hands and your strap down. But can you do a little back extension? Can you lift the back of your head towards the sky? And then lower your head down. Keep your head down, but can you lift your arms overhead? And then lowering your arms back down to the floor and lift your head again. Lower your head, lift your arms. Lower your arms, lift your head. Okay, so we're going to have a little play with this. We're going to see if we can keep some tension on the strap. Can you keep some pull on the strap? Lower your head down. Okay, now this time we're going to lift the strap, keep that tension. Can you bend your elbows and take that strap just behind your head? Can you straighten your arms, reach the arms forwards, lowering your arms down to the floor and lift your head. Lower your head, lift your hands. Again, we're going to bend the elbows, taking that strap down behind your head. Reaching the arms, reach the strap forwards. We're going to do it again, bend the elbows again. Bring the strap down behind your head. Reach the arms forwards, lowering the strap, lifting your head. We're going to do it one more time. We're going to do 3 bends this time. Lower your head, lift your hands, bend the elbows, taking that strap behind your head for 1. Straighten those arms out. Bend the elbows again, bring the strap behind your head for 2. Straighten those arms out, reach. One more time, bend the elbows, take the strap behind, 3. Reach the arms forwards, lower the arms, lift the head, lower the head. Push yourself up and back, find that child's pose, leave that strap where it is. Been misbehaving and making us work super hard. Finding that child's pose, finding that rest position, just hold here. Take a couple of breaths. Stay in that child's pose. Take your arms and circle them out to the sides, bringing your hands down towards your feet. And I've turned so the palms are facing up towards the sky. Now if you want to and it feels okay, you can just lift your ankles to slide your hands under the front of your feet to apply a little bit of weight onto those wrists. And that kind of feels a really nice way to kind of release a bit of tension then, and you can just fold forwards. If that doesn't feel nice, just leave your hands down by your sides. Couple of breaths there. Cramping my foot now. Okay. And then we're going to come up. Okay, so we need our block again. Where's your block? Grab your block. We're going to try and hold our block as well. So it's a little bit of a challenge. So just come onto all fours first. And then balance your block or your book on one hand. And all we're going to do is find that nice stable shoulder position, so not letting them roll in towards each other. Shoulder blades are nice and wide. We're thinking about drawing our armpits down towards our waist, and then we're going to reach one arm forwards and then back in. That's all we're going to do. Reaching one arm forwards and back. Forwards and back. Do that again. Forwards and back. Okay, reach the arm forwards this time. And then can you take it out to the side and then bring it forwards and in. So again, forwards, out to the side, forwards, and then bring it back in.
forwards, out, forwards, and in. Okay, can you, and I might not be able to, reach the arm forwards, take it out to the side. Can you take that block or your book under your arm so that you can take that arm behind your back? You know how we had palm facing up? Can you take your block or your book behind your back? And then again, take it out to the side. Ooh, ooh, she's dropped it. Twist it around to bring it forwards and in. So it kind of takes a bit of playing with. Forwards, out to the side. You need to kind of twist under your arm to take it behind your back. Take it out to the side. Again, a little twist to bring it forwards and back in. Alright, come on off that hand. Should we try the other side? Okay, and if you're too tired to do it on all fours, you could just kind of play with it seated as well. You don't have to go on all fours. Just adds another little layer of challenge. So try it on the other side when you're happy. Shoulder blades are nice and wide, nice and stable. So we're just reaching forwards and backwards first. And of course you can always stay just with the forwards and the backwards. You don't have to add the out to the side if that's enough for you. Once you're happy with the forwards and the backwards, let's see if we can take it out to the side and bring it in. So, out to the side and bring it in. And you might find that you can go out further on one side than the other. And then how about when you take it out to the side, can you then twist to take that block under your arm to take it behind your back? And it's, again I've dropped it, it's just about playing around with moving your arm in lots of different positions, but being kind of mindful of how you're holding your hand so that we're not just twisting at the wrist and the hand in place of the shoulder. That's kind of what the block's for. It's a bit of a tricky one, isn't it? Alright, do one more time. It's a coordination challenge as well as much as anything, isn't it? And then as you bring that block in this time, you can come on down. We're going to go over onto our back next. So when you're ready, have your block or your book, something with you, but lie down on your back. And we're going to have our knees bent and our feet flat. And we're going to do our little floor angels here. So we're going to take the backs of the hands down onto the floor, palms are facing up. And we're going to slide the backs of the hands out along the floor. Taking your arms up towards your head as far as they will go without those ribs lifting. As soon as you feel your rib cage move, you've gone too far. So just bring them down again. And noticing how it feels, noticing if there's any point where you start to feel that pull through the front of your shoulder, your chest, maybe. Just do a couple more here, keeping the backs of the hands down on the floor. One more time like this. And then grab your block or your book or anything that you've got to hand, and we're going to do our little log pull over here. So whatever you've got, we're going to take it up towards the sky. And again, if you've got a block, you can just hold it with the flat of your hand so that you don't have to grip it. Just depends what you're using. And then we're going to have a little soft elbow, so let's have a little bend in the elbow. We've got those elbow magnets on again, so elbows are drawing in towards each other and the ribs stay down. Let's take our arms overhead. Can you take your arms overhead towards the floor behind you and then bring them back up towards the sky? Keeping those elbow magnets on, elbows are drawing in towards each other the whole time and we're not letting them flare out to the sides. Keep a check on those sneaky ribs. Don't let the ribs go. Let's do two more like this.
as your arms come back up towards the ceiling this time, you can get rid of your block, your book, whatever you were holding. And let's open those arms out to a T position. Palms facing up towards the sky, and we're going to roll our chest and shoulders open. Now we're going to keep our legs anchored and still here. Back of the pelvis is anchored onto the floor for now. And then we're going to take your right arm, and we're going to lift that right arm up off the floor. And we're going to start to bring that right arm up towards the sky. So it's going to come up towards your head. And then we're going to start to twist our upper body. We're going to keep our pelvis anchored, keep our legs still, and we're going to try and bring that right arm all the way over towards your left arm, maybe. And then we're going to start to take that right arm back up towards the sky again. Finding that T position. And we're going to try that on the other side. So again, keeping your pelvis anchored, keeping your legs still. Start to lift your other arm this time. Left arm's coming up towards the sky. We're going to allow the rib cage to twist. We're going to allow the waist to twist. But we're going to try and keep the pelvis still. As we reach that left arm over towards your right, notice the difference from one side to the other. When you're ready, let's start to open out into that T position again. Just go nice and slow. Remember, we're not forcing anything. We're going to go again, up right arm. When you're ready, up and over, allowing your upper body to twist, lower body stays anchored. Can you get your hands to touch, maybe? You'll usually have one side that's better than the other. When you're ready, do again to the other side. We're going to do one more on each side. And then when you open out into that T position, we're just going to hold there for a moment. We're going to bring our knees up towards our chest and then bring your arms in to grab hold of those knees. Give those knees a little hug and let's just rock gently side to side here. Releasing your legs, let's lengthen our legs out long and reach our arms overhead. Let's take a stretch here from fingertips to toes, making yourself as long as you can. Still checking with the ribs, we don't want to be arching the back and thrusting the ribs, keep the ribs down. And let's go into our crescent stretch from here. So let's go to the right first, walk your feet to your right, to your right, to your right. And then walk your arms and upper body also to your right. Now you can stay there if that's enough stretch, or pick up your left ankle and cross it over your right. And maybe with your right hand you can grab your left wrist and just give it a little extra stretch, so we're really lengthening down the left side of our body. Again, check in with the ribs want to stay down. Stretching all the way from your wrist, all the way down to your ankle. Let's hold here for a few breaths. When you're ready, releasing those arms first and walk your legs back in through centre. We're going to do the same on the other side. So when you're ready, walk your legs to your left this time. Taking your arms up and overhead again and walking your arms and upper body also to your left. And again, you might choose to stay here. Or picking up your right ankle, cross it over your left. With your left hand this time, grabbing your right wrist and just give it that little pull. Sorry, Freddie's trying to break the door down. Finding that length, finding that stretch, checking with your ribs. And again, let's take some deep breaths here. When you're ready, releasing your hands again first. walking your legs back in through centre, bending your knees in, bring your knees into your chest, give them a little hug again, and let's just rock gently side to side here. We're going to come up to find a seated position next, so take your time, but come on up and find a comfortable seated position. We're going to do a little bit of seated shoulder work now. So once you're happy, we're going to bring our hands up in front of us, and we're going to bring have a look at your palms, bring your little fingers, side of your hands together and your elbows together. I'll top out the way so you can see I've got my elbows together. Okay, and then we're going to keep our elbows together and try and open out our hands. So we're playing peekaboo, and then bring your hands together. So again, can you open out and come back in? Elbows stay together. You could pull all kinds of faces at me here, couldn't you? One more like that. And then we're going to find reverse prayer hands, bringing the backs of your hands together. Let your thumbs touch, and then pull the thumbs away from the rest of the fingers. Trying to keep the backs of your hands touching as you lower those hands down. And we're trying to get our forearms parallel to the floor at elbow height. So if your hands are peeling apart, just come up a little bit higher to where you can keep those hands together. And then let your shoulders relax here. In fact, let's take one ear down towards our shoulder. Let's hold here for a couple of breaths. Bring your head up, take it over to the other side, hold there for a couple of breaths. Bring your head back in through centre. So we're going to just keep these hands together, but we're going to take the hands from one side to the other. And we need to release those hands. So are you ready? Gently, gently bring those hands apart. Give your fingers a wriggle. Let's circle our wrist. Let's reverse that circle, go the other way. We're going to try and bring our fingertips down to the floor now. So you can bring them down in front or at the side or however you're sitting, but can you get just your fingertips on the floor? And what we're trying to do is use the floor to kind of extend our fingers. So just the fingertips on the floor. You're not trying to get your whole palm down. You're just trying to get your fingers so that you can create that little extension so that your fingers are straight, but we're kind of pulling them back. It's like when we do it with our hands here, but we're using the floor to do it. So thumbs reaching out to the side. And notice if your fingers are buckling, are the knuckles kind of wanting to bend? See if you can keep the fingers straight so they're not bent at the knuckles. And you're pressing your palms away from you. Can you get all of your fingertips down? Can you get your little fingers down? Mine don't want to go down today. Oh, there. They're down. And then can you circle your thumbs nice and slow? You circle them the other way. And then just gently, gently release and wriggle your fingers. We're going to interlace our fingers. We're going to press them down towards the floor. Just a gentle release, and let's press them forwards. Notice if your fingers are trying to split and splay apart. Try and keep them knitted tight together, and then pull your thumbs away. Press forwards. Again, just a little release. Let's take them up. Press up. We're going to release the hands. Circle them out to the sides. Take them behind your back. Can you interlace your fingers behind your back? Let them just kind of rest down. Can you pull your shoulder blades together? And then can you lift your hands away from the floor? So we're just lifted away from the floor, just a little bit. Shoulder blades are squeezing in. And just hold there for a moment. And then lowering your hands down. Just give your shoulders a little wiggle. Let's keep those hands behind us for a moment. Little wiggle of the shoulders. So again, let's squeeze those shoulder blades together. And then again, can you keep them squeezing as you lift those hands? And then lower the hands down and release.
We're going to bring the hands in front of us again. So instead of interlacing as we normally do, we're going to kind of move one finger down, so it's going to feel weird. If it feels weird, you're doing it right. So we're kind of interlaced again, but wrong. And then again, we're going to press down towards the floor. And it will just feel strange. Try and stop your little fingers from splaying apart. And then a little release. Let's go forwards again. Watch those little fingers, thumbs pulling away. And take it up and overhead. Oh, I'm sorry, it's very noisy today. Releasing those hands and just circle them all the way down to our sides. Okay, we're going to do our cup of water. So if you need to switch up your seating position, then do. How are we for time? We can do it nice and quick. We're going to reach one arm forwards. Imagine that you're holding your cup of water and then you're going to tip it out to the side. So we're in that external rotation. And we're going to take that arm out to the side. Keep that little bend of your elbow and then reach your elbow away. So we've still got our water tipping out behind us. We've got a soft elbow and we're reaching the elbow away from our shoulder. Let's tip our head the opposite way and let's hold here for just a couple of breaths. And then bringing your head up first and just gently releasing that hand. Let's do the same on the other side. So reaching your arm out, hold your cup of water, tip it out and you're in that external rotation. Take that arm out to the side. Reaching that elbow away from you, still got that external rotation, we've still got that water tipping out. Again, tilt your head the opposite way. Hold here, 2 breaths. When you're ready, bring your head back up and just gently release that hand. We're going to do both hands together this time. 2 cups, take them out in front, tip them out, external rotation, take your arms out to the side, soft elbows. Elbows reach. Nudge your chin towards your chest now, looking down towards the floor, lengthening the back of your neck. A couple of breaths here. When you're ready, we're going to slowly bring our head back up first. And then we're just going to release those hands. Little shoulder roll again, just a couple of times in each direction. Gently turn your head side to side, just making sure that it's all nice and free, no tension. And you guys are all done, so thank you so much for being